I thought me closing the curtains would help the lighting a little bit, but I don't think it did. Hi. Hey. How are you? How's it going? So, you may have guessed, considering I'm still in the same getup, that it is now time for part 2 of my adventures. I left off at Seoul, Incheon International Airport, which is in Seoul, but it's Incheon more specifically, I guess. And so I left off there. I'm gonna continue literally right there, okay? So I got my SIM card for my phone. The next step was to buy my bus ticket to Jongja Station, which is where I'm supposed to be meeting my contact with the school. So I have all my luggage on this little cart thing, you know, so I'm like rolling my cart through the little hall, whatever, and so I make my way outside, and there's a bus ticket, you know, in English too, so I was like, hey, you can't miss that. So I go up. It was very confusing because that was literally all that was in English. So I was like trying to find Jongja in Korean, because like I said in the last video, like when I was talking to the woman on the plane, I can read Korean. So I was like, if I know what I'm looking for and I read it, I can identify that that's what I'm looking for. And I'm like, all right, okay, you know, searching through, and it's like flashing so fast. I get up, it's my turn to get up to the thing, and this guy just like crosses in front of me like it's no big deal, like I wasn't standing there. And I'm like, you know, I'm gonna let you go because I'm still confused. So you're lucky. You're lucky, sir. And then from there, I get up to the window, and this woman, she's not having me. It's fine, but she's not having me. And I was like, 안녕하세요. Jongja Station, you know, like trying my best. I don't remember the word for station. I've learned it in my Korean lesson that I've taught myself, but I couldn't remember at this point in time. Can't even tell you right now because I'm like kaput upstairs. So I was like, you know, 안녕하세요, Jongja Station, and she was like, what? I was like, Bondang, like, isn't that how you say it? Where I'm going? Like, and so I pulled out my phone to show it to her, and like I hand my phone to her like under the little window. She's like, oh, all right, I got you, okay. And then she says like a number, and I know up to like 5 in Korean numbers. Shame on me, honestly. Like, out of all the random words that I know in Korean, I should at least know the numbers up to 10. Okay, so I'm working on that now. I'm working on that now. So she like tells me the price, and I'm like, I didn't, like, well, first of all, I didn't hear her, and so that means that I didn't hear that she was like telling me something. So she's like 9,001, and I was like, girlfriend got a temper on her. So I'm like, oh, my bad, fam. All right. I like pull out my cash money, get my thing. She like circled all the important information on the ticket. Like I called my contact at this point because she was like, you know, let me know when you get your ticket. So I was like, okay. So I call her, and I'm looking at my ticket. So I'm looking at like the bus stop, and like the way they have them lined up is like really confusing because they're like I don't know, maybe like 5-10 feet from each other, like apart. So there's like they're all in number in alphabetical order. Okay, so it's like 8 ABC, 9 ABC, like, and those were like the different stops. Okay, so I think mine was like 9A. So there was one that came, but it was like 6:10. It's like, oh wow, alright, it's early, whatever. So I'm like going to get on the bus, you know, giving the guy my luggage, and then I go up to the bus driver, and he's like, yeah, no, not this one. Like, he was just like, what do you mean? It said that's the town I'm going to, Bundang. You know, that's my area. And he was like, you know, and then like pointed. So I was like, I thought that he was pointing to the next bus, right? And I was like, all right, okay. So the next bus is ready to pull out, and I was like, oh, hang on, like, I'm not sitting here for another how long. I'm tired. I'm trying to get to my place, you know. So I'm like going out, and I'm like talking to the bus driver, and I'm like, is this? Show him my ticket, and I'm like, is this the bus? And he's like, he was sweeter. He was just like, nah. And I was like, no, not this one. And then there's this dude that's outside the bus. He's like, hey. And I was like, all right. Okay, sir. And he was just like, next one. And I was like, all right, whatever. Next one, fine. I'll just sit here. It's cold, but it's fine. I'll just sit here for whatever bus I'm supposed to be on. Oh, I was pitiful. I really was. And it doesn't help that I was like fresh off the plane. So I was. If you guys know anything about jet lag, you are not. You're not you. So I was not me. I was just like, all right. I gotta stick to the story this time because that last video was way too long. So my apologies. Waiting, and then the bus comes, and I'm like, all right, this is definitely it, right? He's like, yeah, come on, and I put my stuff underneath the bus, you know, and then I show him a message that's like in Korean, and it's like, hey, can you let me know when we get here? And he's like, it's 3 stops. So I was like, okay, got you. Okay, I fell asleep on this bus, and I was like, let's hope I didn't miss anything important, which I didn't. Like, no, the same people were still on the bus. Like, that's just how long this bus ride was. It was like an hour, like an hour and a half. I don't know. At the first stop, I get off the bus, and I'm like talking to him because he's like helping other people get their luggage from underneath, you know. And I'm like, 2 more, right? Jeongjo Station, 2 more. And he's like, I was like, okay. We got this, fam. We're good. So, 3rd stop, I get off. I go up to him, and he's like, this is this Jeongjo Station. And I was like, okay, great. Thank you so much. He helped me get my stuff off. So, I call my contact. I'm like, hey, I'm at Jeongjo Station. And she's like, I'm at Jeongjo Station. Where are you? I was like, I mean, this is what the bus driver said. Long story short, I wasn't at Jeongjo Station, fam. I wasn't there. I was like taking pictures of the bus stop of where I was, and so she came and got me. It was fine. So she came, picked me up, and brought me to my apartment. And so, she's like going through the basic, like the code and everything to get in. And so I'm on my, I'm setting things up, getting things out, trying to organize some things. And I realized that there's something missing. And that something was my wallet. More specifically, it was like my passport wallet. So it's like a passport holder with like a little, like on the left-hand side, there's like little slots for your cards and, things like that you can keep in there along with your passport, so you don't have to carry more than one thing around. And that was missing. I was like, damn. And, okay. Before everybody starts freaking out, I had my passport, so that was at least one positive to the massive negative, because in this passport was quite a few dollar bills, because I went to the ATM before I got onto the bus, and all of my credit card and my debit card. And my transportation card too. And so, for the subway, because I'm going to have to take the subway to work. So all of that was in there. All of this valuable? Okay, I got it. Information. And my driver's license. All of that was in there, guys. And it was pretty pitiful because I was freaking out. I know most of the YouTube world doesn't really know me very well, but I consider myself a very, very, like, responsible person. Okay, like, I'm very specific, I'm very detailed, I'm very when it comes to important stuff, okay? Like, I don't play around. I don't mess around with that kind of stuff. So for this to be happening to me, I was like, I'm the wrong one. It was very, very scary. Like, I'll be honest with y'all, I was crying. I was sobbing. I was scared. I was like, I cannot be in another country with no money. Like, yeah, I got my passport. Yeah, that's kind of important. But that passport's not going to get me food. That passport's not going to get me around. You know, that passport's not going to get me all of the necessities that I needed. So, you see my dilemma. The dilemma that I was in was, because this ends, it has a happy ending. It ends very well. So I call my mom, and God bless this woman's soul. Oh, get it? Seoul, Korea, Seoul. I'll stop now. But, so she was very, very helpful in this situation. Like, Mom, I love you. I call her and I'm like, please don't freak out on me because I'm freaking out enough myself. But I lost my wallet. And she's like, you can tell that pause where she's like ready to like either scream, freak out, or chew you out. You know what I mean? Like, whenever there's that awkward silence and you know the person's processing. And because I asked her not to freak out, and because I was already on the verge of tears, Mama handled it very well. She was like, all right, calm down. Have you looked through this? Have you looked through that? You know, she's like helping me go through it. And eventually she's like, because it was like super late for me, but like daytime for everyone at home. There's a 14-hour difference. And so she was able to go to my bank, have me talk to the manager at this branch, and like we will work through everything, you know, about my cards and getting new ones. So it'll be a minute before I get new cards because I'm in Korea and nobody ships internationally when it comes to that kind of stuff. So just, hey, that's a learning lesson for you guys. If you are abroad, lose your card, want a new one, they're not going to send it to you wherever you are. So, like, and I will say, I will make a general apology because I was way too prideful to admit that I may have lost it, okay? I was so convinced that, like, someone took it from me because I was like I said, I'm a very responsible person. So I was like, there's no way that I lost this. Like, it wasn't me. I know that it wasn't me. But alas, it was. So I apologize just to the general public because I was at fault. I admit that now because I know it was me. Turns out I dropped it on the bus. It was found the day after I had frozen all my cards and requested new ones, right? My contact, she called me and was like, I found it. I got it. It's at the police station. So she come to pick me up. And she's telling me in the car, she's like, listen, my husband and I were so worried about you. We were like freaking out. We were like, the two of them were calling around different places to find my thing, to find my wallet. And they were like, she's like, this is a first for me, really. Like, I was so scared for you. Like, I couldn't imagine how you felt. And I was like, yeah. I catastrophize when stuff like that happens. So I was like,
oh my god, I'm gonna be without money for a month. Oh my god, what do I do?
I'm a drama queen. So, you know, we're driving in the car. She's like, it was so funny because we were able to laugh about it now. Now that we're on our way to the police station. And so we arrive at this police station and there's like 6-7 dudes in there, you know, ranging from all ages, and they're all just like sitting there. And then we walk in and like at least half of them, at least like 4 or 5 of them jump up and like come to the counter and like are like talking. I mean, obviously my contact, like, it fluent in Korean, so they're like talking with her and they're like, oh, okay, what's going on, you know? And like they have it in an envelope, so like there's like 3 of them running through like the details of like what should be in there, what it looks like, you know, and then they show it to me and then I'm like, yeah, that's it. And I'm, you know, I give them my passport and as an ID and like go through this whole like process. And it was just so funny because it was like probably a one-man job that like these 5 dudes were like insisting to help with. They were all so sweet, so helpful. I was so grateful. I was like, thank you so much. Oh my god. And I guess I don't know if this is a thing like in general, but in this specific case for me personally, there was like a reward put on. So like whoever found it was like, she was telling me it's basically like a 5 or 10% of like whatever's in the wallet you would give to the person as a reward. And I was beyond willing to do that. I was like, heck yeah, someone like turning in my wallet with supposedly nothing stolen, because I didn't have it at this point to like verify. And so I was like, yeah, like once I go through it, like if everything there, of course I would. So I go through it, and y'all, sure enough, money, like every dime of it was in there. My cards, everything, my transportation card, my driver's license, everything was in there. And so I was like, who is this person? She was joking. She was like, I think you found like your good person, like your good karma soulmate. And I was like, I think I did. Age is just a number. Like, this is it. This person's the one. So, so it was so much fun. It was funny. Like, we made this whole situation a laughable one. So I really hope you guys are laughing too. Don't freak out that I lost my wallet. Okay. And it was actually found by the bus staff. Like, I guess whenever the bus was empty, you go through and you clean whatever. They found it, and they didn't want anything from me. They're like, no, I just wanted to give it back, make sure the person who lost it got it back. That was it. They denied the reward. And I was like, wow. Like, this was such a powerful moment for me, you know, because, like, no offense, America, but like back home, you wouldn't be getting anything. You wouldn't be getting this stuff back. Like, you might get your wallet, your cards, but that cash would be gone for sure, you know, because people don't steal cards anymore because they know that when it goes missing, your account's gonna get frozen. You might get involved in fraud, but cash, you can't trace that. Now you can take cash, be like, oh, here's your wallet, thanks for the $500, whatever. Like, for this to happen, I was truly amazed. I was so grateful, honestly. I was like, she was joking with me. She was like, you must be a really good person for this to happen. Like, now I know that we made the right choice in hiring you. And I'm like, I appreciate that. Thank you. But also, I suppose you're right. Because this kind of stuff just doesn't happen. And I can't tell you how grateful it was. The whole time I was just like in shock. I was just in awe. I was like, there's no way this is real. Like, it's back in my hands. Like, I have it. Everything. So, be careful. I guess there's a lesson here. Be careful as you're journeying through internationally, and whenever because honestly, when you're like going from place to place, you know, transportation, like, it's bound to happen. I should have expected it, especially because I'm me, Janela. So, stuff like this always happens. So that's the end of that story. That is, I guess, transportation. That was the airport story in the last video, and this is the transportation, I lost my wallet adventure in this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.